of this whole situation, guys, it's just fun to watch. It is. I mean, who would have thought that the Coven sisters would be quarreling over a man? Like literally beefing each other over a man. Who would have thought? Huh? I mean, the irony of it all. See, I'm going to use the word irony a lot on this video, yeah? Guys, I find it so ironic that Sultana, Doris, GIGI Jasmine, who else? Okay, Sabrina is not even a part of this conversation yet, but we know that she's going to join very soon, right? But these ones I've mentioned, I just find it very ironic that they're now against each other, you know, over a man. This one now is between GIGI Jasmine and Sultana over victory, yes. And then Doris, who is, you know, a mutual friend to both, she already is taking GIGI Jasmine's side and she's ready to wage war against Sultana for entertaining victory's advances. According to her, Sultana is not being a girl's girl. She's breaking, in fact, she has broken the girl's code. How ironic. How ironic can that be? And you see, yeah, the situation gets interesting. It gets really interesting. The interesting part in this whole thing is that there's actually two sides to the story. So the first side is that GIGI Jasmine actually lied that Sultana is her best friend. Yeah. According to Sultana, when did we start talking? Hey God. Now, the second side to the situation is Sultana does not give an actual fuck. She doesn't. She doesn't. Listen, Sultana is on a mission to create as much spotlight or highlights rather. She's on a mission to create as many highlights as she can. Because at the end of the day, it's a competition at play here, right? And each man or woman to his or herself, or him or herself, guys. So this is, the whole situation is just so funny, and we're going to get into the details on this video because there's a lot to unpack. I'm quite excited, and you know why. For those of you that don't know why I am excited that these girls are against each other, I will spill as I explain on this video. All right, so just watch to the end. Aside that, there were various other conversations. This one, there was a conversation between Victory and Ibi Fubara about his blossoming situationship with Sultana, and then there was a feedback conversation between Ibi Fubara and Sultana where one was actually telling the other the perception that the whole house has about her. That one happened. And what else, guys? You know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna, as we just tag along, I will be spilling the details of these chats one after the other because last night not a lot happened, but just some chats here and there. So I'm just going to speed on this video, right? So please make sure you watch to the end. Don't skip out on any part so you do not miss out on anything. And quick reminder, today is Saturday. So by 3 p.m. WAT, you know what happens here. We're going to be converging for our YouTube live conversation. Guys, I am bursting with just a lot to share. I cannot wait to meet with all of you. I cannot wait to engage, to banter, to interact. Woof! I am excited. So guys, make it a date. Do not miss out. Trust me, you don't want to miss out, all right? And of course, you are all specially welcome to my channel. My name is Glory Elijah. This is Frankly Speaking with Glory Elijah, and I am the girl with the tea. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. So first, let's cast our minds back to 2 or 3 nights ago. Yeah, was it? I think it was on Monday night or Tuesday night. This was after Victory had won the Head of House Challenger and had picked Joanna as his house guest. GIGI Jasmine had cried a lot, and then she had begun her own media rounds, just like Kola. Had been going to every Tom, Dick and Harry that cares to listen, telling them about how mean and how just mean and unkind Victory was to her. You know, she had a lot to tell. Of course, she had to purgate her emotions. So she's been going on and on, telling people this and that and that. Now, the one thing that she started telling people in addition to her story is that Victory dumped her. That's the word. He dumped her for her best friend, Sultana. Now, I'd done a video where I shared the conversation between Victory and GIGI Jasmine that night, where Victory was, arguing that no, when you and I were talking, Sultana was not your best friend. How is she your best friend all of a sudden? And guys, you see, I told you all on that video that Victory was not lying. I explained the gameplay of GIGI Jasmine, that this girl, she's very smart. She comes off as the kind, soft-spoken, soft baby girl in the house that doesn't like stress, that doesn't like drama. But when you look at all the drama that she has been involved in, you will see that she has been the one instigating it. And she always, in fact, she has a flair for twisting narratives. She has a flair for cooking up speculations, propaganda against her opponents. She's very manipulative like that. She's the queen of gaslighting and manipulation, which are skills that not everybody possesses or knows how to harness. So I had told you all that when she had that conversation that night with Victory and was claiming that, oh, Victory dumped her for Sultana, who is her best friend, Victory had countered her. Like, the guy said, nah, she's not your best friend. You just brought this up all of a sudden. And she's like, we've been talking and we've gotten really close, blah, blah, blah. So Victory was like, well, as at the time I told her that I like her, both of you were not best friends then. So why are you making it look like whilst we were still talking, I went behind your back to woo your best friend? It doesn't really make sense. But guess what? GIGI Jasmine did not drop that line. She did not drop that narrative. She has been populating it around the house, BBC, CNN. She has been populating it to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Everybody. So, she had floated that information to, what's her name now? Doris, right? And guys, mind you, last night, Victory had a proper conversation with Sultana, had made his intentions known to Sultana, which was quite funny because they had that conversation. He had given her a foot massage because she had sprained her ankle. And afterwards, it was afterwards that Sultana had gone upstairs with Coin, and then they had kissed passionately, fondled, done whatever beneath the duvet in the dressing area. And that had happened. But Sultana is still keeping her checkbooks open for Victory. Now, Victory has started his own conversations with Ibifubara and some of his guy friends about how Sultana is his actual spec, whilst Joanna is someone that he really wants to get to know for friendship. And he would love for something to be birthed out of it, something like a relationship. He actually told this one to Big Brother. And if nothing blossoms out of it, he won't be mad at it, but he just wants her as his friend. Ladies and gentlemen, are you seeing the madness that these housemates are actually displaying in that house? Because even me that is actually explaining this thing to you right now, I'm realizing how mind-boggling it is. Like, you told someone you like her, and then you move on to another girl and said, oh, this one is my actual spec, and then you have another one that you invited to the Head of House lounge, and you are saying that one, you picked that one because you want to make a friend out of that. Jesus Christ, the audacity of Victory to stress my brains. The audacity. But if you think about it, I think it's such a brilliant move for him not to box himself at the end of the day, because guys, whether you hate it or like it, Victory is actually playing a smart and logical game. Because the moment he attaches himself to just GIGI, I mean, we saw what happened. It's a disaster. He cannot breathe another female's presence. He cannot even walk past another female's presence without GIGI Jasmine raising her eyebrows and screaming, oh, you cheated, right? So the guy is literally spreading his wings and firmly planting himself in the minds of some of the female housemates that he perceives to be strong contenders that could be of use to him in terms of nominations. And he has had conversations with them and they understand. And speaking about those conversations, guys, I am coming to those conversations. But first, let's talk about the conversation between GIGI and Doris about their friend Sultana. So, Doris, after hearing everything from GIGI Jasmine, she's upset. She's not impressed. She's disappointed in Sultana. Now, it also did not help matters that after the wager presentation in the arena, she and Sultana, they had had like a slight disagreement, and Sultana had warned her, I need you to stop being a school prefect to me. I don't like it. I hate it when you do this, blah, blah, blah. Now, I did not know what they were particularly talking about, right? But it looked like Doris had actually provoked her and she was not having it, you know. So she had said her a piece and had walked away. And it was later on that Doris and Gigi had had that conversation. And you see, that just aggravated the whole thing, because Doris was really disappointed. Like, oh, girl code, you were not being a girl's girl. Why would Sultana be entertaining Victory's advances, seeing the way Victory had treated their friend Gigi? And we know that Gigi, being the master manipulator herself, you know, she kept on adding salt and pepper, spices to the story to make it more pitiable for herself, you know. And Doris kept on giving her moral support. And Doris vowed that, or rather resolved, let me not say vowed, she resolved that she was going to confront Sultana about it. Because one thing she would not do is to sit down and watch her friend, you know, slight her other friend. And you see, guys, as I said at the start of this video, I was quite excited watching this whole exchange between these girls. I was quite excited. Why? Because every time they sit down, gossiping about other housemates, especially Mide and Dede, they put themselves on this very high pedestal, you know, of morality. Like they are morally so pure, that they are morally so upright. They make it look like they are the angels of justice in the house, like they can do no wrong. Especially Sultana, she makes it look like she's the queen, you know, the queen bee. Nothing can stand in her way, and she's a very, very good person. She's a clean saint. She makes herself look like all of that, whereas she is not. So when you listen to all of these things that's happening now, I mean, your very good friend, because all of a sudden Sultana is now claiming that she and Gigi, they are not even best friends. That they are not best friends, that when did they even start talking? That they just started having proper conversations. And guys, I find it very, very entertaining. You see, all of these things are happening. For me, they're very, very entertaining, because at the end of the day, Shabi my own is here to get the juicy gist. So I cannot wait to see when Doris confronts Sultana, because we know that Doris alone cannot be talking. Sultana too has a way of also talking. Sultana likes the sound of her voice just as much as Doris likes the sound of her own voice. So my thing is, are they even going to have a successful conversation, or they're going to be clashing all through? Let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. Now, about Victory, yeah? Victory had had his own conversation with Ibi Fubara. And as I mentioned before, this guy was standing on his ground that, as at the time he indicated his likeness towards Sultana, Gigi and Sultana were not best friends. But then there were some things that this guy was saying, and I was looking at this guy and I'm like, hey God, I hope that this is just for the sake of the game, that Victory is saying all of these things that he's saying, because if this guy is this way in real life, me, I'll be running away. If I see Victory from afar, and before he comes close, I will disappear. Because this guy was confidently defining relationships that he has and relationships the way he understands it. So according to him, you can like different people at the same time. It doesn't matter what or how or who, you can like different people at the same time. It's just that you can also like people for different reasons. He said, for instance, now on the outside, he has different girls that he likes, right? And there's the one that he has sex with, and there's the other one that he just likes, and they all have an understanding of their situation. So it's not like you're going to be making a fuss out of it. So the one that is just a bedmate is not going to start looking for the position of main girlfriend. And I'm like, yeah, interesting. But you see, here's the thing. He's actually right. Because on my second channel, Simply Glory Elijah, I've talked about this, where when you go into a relationship of any kind, you need to define it. Define your relationship. Don't just leave your relationships at the mercy of, let's see how it goes, or let's test the waters. No, define it. If you want to be in a relationship with someone for benefits, let it be known and declared and understood and accepted. Let there be a mutual agreement, right? So the way he was explaining it, it sounded really mind-boggling, but he was totally right. And according to him, that is exactly what he's trying to let these girls understand in this house. Like, he has had a conversation with Gigi. He thought that Gigi will understand, but Gigi does not want to understand. He has had a conversation with Joanna. Joanna completely understands that they're just friends, but they are talking and they're getting to know each other better. And then he has had a conversation with Sultana, and Sultana also understands. So what is Gigi's problem? Why is Gigi still making it all about her and a big deal? So that is his own argument. And guys, I'm going to be frank with all of you. If there's one thing I admire about Victory, it's the fact that he doesn't mince words. It's also the fact that he's not one of those BBNaija male housemates that we are obviously seeing that he's cheating on his partner, but then he's going to be lying that, no, I'm not, I'm not, like, going to be denying it just for the optics. So I love the fact that I think for the first time in the history of Big Brother, we have a male housemate that is really clearly defining the boundaries of the extent of his likeness or affection for any of the female housemates that he's interested in. And it's quite refreshing to see. And then finally, the conversation between Ibifubara and Sultana. Sultana wanted feedback from her friend Ibifubara to know if she's in the wrong of that whole situation, because according to her, she's not doing anything wrong. That she's not like Gigi's best friend. Gigi has her best friends. She's just one of Gigi's friends. So why is Gigi making it a big deal? I mean, she's actually standing on her ground in whatever she has going on with Victory. She's not really bothered. And she wanted to hear Ibifubara's own perspective, you know, as a psychologist in the house. And Ibifubara was quite brutal to her with the truth that it's always going to be that way. People are always going to look at her and the likes of Mide in the same light because they have conventional, is it conventional type of beauty or unconventional type of beauty? There was a way she defined it that was quite intriguing to me. I'm going to have to do more research on that because I loved the way she explained that situation to Sultana. And she also went on to talk about how, you know, people are talking about Sultana's moves in the house because of how she also treated Faith. She had treated Faith in a very, very bad way that people believed that she could have actually handled that whole situation way better than she did. But then again, Sultana will always be Sultana because she will never accept that she's wrong. She will never see her faults in anything because she believes she's completely blameless. She believes that she's a saint. But then late into the night, she was having a conversation with Faith. I'm going to be frank with you. It was quite late into the night, into the early hours of this morning, and I was really tired. I needed to film my videos, so I did not listen to their conversation. But I will listen to their conversation later, and I will give you guys all the details of it all on my next video, if the need be, all right? But in the meantime, I'm going to stop talking here now because I really want to hear your opinion about the way Sultana is moving, because obviously she has Coin. I don't know whatever is going on between she and Coin. Yes, they kissed, but I don't understand. Does the kiss mean anything to her, or it's just a kiss? I don't know. What do you all think? And also her choosing to disregard the friendship she has with her friend GIGI Jasmine and to forge ahead with Victory, a guy whom they have a mutual agreement that the guy treated GIGI Jasmine badly, you know, but she still decided to forge ahead in a relationship with this guy in the same confined space. Guys, what do you think? Do you think she actually broke the girl code, or she's just really protecting herself? Because at the end of the day, as Gloria Elijah will always say, the game is the game. You cannot always blame the player, but you can majorly blame the game, right? As they would say. And also, that's the part where just as much as Sultana is playing games, using people to play games, that's the same thing that Gigi is doing. That's the same thing that Victory is doing. That's the same thing that all the housemates are doing. So at the end of the day, there is no saint in Big Brother's house. There's no saint. There is no saint. I'm going to tell you again and again. There is no saint in Big Brother's house. Because every time these housemates say, oh, I'm just coming to be myself, I'm sorry, they are not being themselves entirely. because the game is the game. There's a prize to be won. So ladies and gentlemen, this is where I stop talking. Go ahead, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll see you guys on my next video and also during our live conversation today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one. Bye.